Hey guys, welcome to CR and Designers Chetan here, and in this tutorial we are going to do hard surface modeling from concept mesh to the production ready mesh. So this tutorial will be for beginners to the intermediate, so anybody and everybody can understand easily. So now let's get started. You can see here is the concept mesh which I have modeled with the simple boolean methods, and you can turn on that wireframe mode and you can see the weird topology is there. This is the concept mesh you have to model before creating the production ready mesh, and we will make the similar one with the right topology for the production. So just hide that one, and you need to add a cylinder. Don't use a cube, vertex should be 3. Don't use a cube to make a triangle, because use the cylinder you will get the equilateral triangle, and we want the equilateral triangle. Don't you do that method that take a cube and merge those words. Don't do this. Then select its edges, side edges, and you need to add a bevel on its edges. So just add a bevel and give the right width amount for your bevel depending on the size of your triangle. Okay, then we need to add one cube. So add a cube and then scale it down like this, and this cube will work as a cutter object for our mesh, and we can create those slant cut which you have seen in that concept mesh. So just select these words and then scale them along the x-axis, and just try to adjust the shape of your mesh, and then set its origin to the 3D cursor and then rotate it into 120 degree, because divide 360 by 3, so you will get a 120 degree, and you need to rotate them into 120 degree. Then select these 3 cubes and then join them together, and then you need to use the bool tool, which is the bool tool free add-on, and then enable that bool tool modifier which will create in the modifier tab. Before that, if you want to adjust the scale, then adjust the scale and then apply that bool tool modifier. Just means boolean modifier, it creates boolean modifier, and bool tool is a free add-on, so use that, and it is installed already in Blender. Okay, so you can see the topology is not right there, so we need to create a topology. So just delete that bottom face. You can delete the X and then words, so you will get the 2D planar shape. You don't need to delete the words one more time. Okay, then select the words and then connect vertex path. Now we are going to create the right topology there, because there are n-gons and we don't want n-gons. Trigons are fine, means triangles are fine, but try to avoid the n-gons. And you can see the topology how I created. I'm creating this topology. Just add words at the center of the segments, and then select the words and then connect vertex path. Right click and then connect vertex path. Okay, like this. Then select this face, and I'm going to create the more topology on it, so I can easily create the booleans there. Okay, so we need to add the edge loops like this, but you can see there is an n-gons, that's why we are not getting the complete edge loop. So that's why we need to connect vertex path. We need to create the one segment there, and we need to create a chorus. So just select these words and then connect vertex path. That's we need to do. And then you can use the loop tool and then circle. Loop tool is a add-on which is there in the Blender, and which is amazing add-on. You can create immediately the circle. Then you need to add the loop cuts like this. Okay, you can see, just observe how I'm adding this loop cuts. Okay, so add the loop cuts like this. These loop cuts are edge loops are important for the more booleans. Okay, so now you need to define where you want to add the more booleans, and that's why how should be the geometry, how should be the topology. Okay, now you need to select these faces and then press I to insert and create one loop, face loop or edge loop you can say, around your mesh, and then add a loop cut like this. And so just add one loop cut like this and use the loop tool and make it circle. Right click, loop tool, and then circle option is there, and we will create the more booleans on it. And don't delete the faces of your booleans. Like if I want to make a circle booleans cylindrical, then don't delete those faces, because we need to use the loop tool many more times as we add more edges there. So just select these faces and create a loop tool. With the help of loop tool, create a circle and adjust its position. Okay, just we need to move the words here and there. And you can see I'm taking the one more time I'm repeating that process because I didn't select these faces. So just select these faces and do the same step one at a time for all these faces, and then insert and then use the loop tool and make sure individual origin should be on, which is there option along the magnet. Beside the magnet, just turn on that option, and then you can scale them like this. And then you need to move these circles. You can use the different transformation orientation if it's work. I guess it's not work in the edit mode, it works in the object mode, I think. Sometimes it's work and sometimes it's not. So just move these circles, faces, cylindrical faces, you can say anything. Okay, like this you need to move them. You can press Ctrl and move them, so you will get the snappy mode and you can move them in an exact position. Okay, then select these faces one more time, or select this edge and then double tap G to drag it. For the edge slide, you need to press a double tap G, means press G 2 times. Okay, similar here, and then similar here also. So select the words and double tap G and do the edge slide, and then select these faces. Okay, you need to select the faces and then press I to insert and use the loop tool one more time for good circle there. And I need to select this edge loop and I need to use the edge slide there because we want to create a more booleans. So that's why we need an edge slide. We need to do the edge slide and we want the loop there, and so we can select the faces like this kind of faces, and then press I and make sure you give the right amount for the insert so you can remember that amount, because we want to do the same thing for all other faces. So just select these faces and do the insert, and here give the 0.01 amount is fine, so I can remember that. And then do the same process here. Select these faces and press I to insert. Select these faces and press I to insert, give the right thickness amount. Select these faces and press I to insert. Okay, and then select these faces like this. Make sure select the right faces and loop tool and then circle, and you can see just need to scale down. Make sure your individual origin should be on. And thanks for that buddy who has given me this idea. Okay, and then one more time insert it. So just select these faces and then move them, and we need to adjust its position according to our concept mesh, because we are going to model according to similar to our concept mesh. We want to reach that the concept mesh, so that's why you need to move this circle with this octagon we have created. So that's why use the edge slide, vertex, move the vertex here and there, and press Ctrl. Press and hold the control, and then you can use the move tool, so you will get the snappy mode. And later on we can take the symmetry also, so you can reduce your efforts. So just select these faces and move them. and then select everything and then mesh symmetrize like this. You will get the symmetry, and just adjust the position. If it's right, then go ahead. If you want to adjust them, then you can. Then select these faces and then press I for the insert, so we can add more loops there, because we will add the subdivision surface modifier, so that's why these loops are important. So now just select this face and use the loop tool to make a proper circle, so we can create easily the boolean. Just select these faces and then one more time use the insert operation and then delete that face. You can delete the faces right now, because that's we have created the basic topology which is necessary for our production ready mesh. So then you can delete your faces, that boolean faces, after creating the complete good topology. Okay, so just make it circle proper and use the loop tool, make it circle proper, and then delete the face. That's fine. So just select these faces and then delete them. Just select this one and then delete them, and you can see the topology is pretty good. Now select everything and E to extrude, and you can adjust thickness, how thick you want it. So according to that you can adjust the thickness. And now you need to add the loop cuts, supporting geometry, supporting edges, which are very important in the subdivision surface modeling to give the proper shape for your mesh. So select these face loops and press I to insert, so you can add one at a time to 2 loop cuts on all these faces, so you can tighten that geometry. This is a cool technique, like select the face loops and then press I, so automatically loop cuts will be there, and give the proper thickness amount. And then add a subdivision surface modifier. So just go there and add a subdivision surface modifier, and you can see the mesh looks pretty well. And now just we need to add the loop cuts wherever it's necessary, where we want to create a tight geometry, the sharper edges, there we need to add more loop cuts. And you can see the edge flow topology is good, a chord based topology we have created there. And then you can add more details on it, so that's why you need to select these faces and then press I and then extrude it along the normal, and give the small offset amount for the extrude operation. And you can try the different offset amounts and make sure it is like a design thing. You can't give the more value, you can't give the very small value. It should be appropriate for your design. So that then you select this face loop. So just select these face loops and then press I for the insert operation, so we can add the loop cuts there. So just press I and give the proper thickness for your insert operation, like this. And then you need to select these face loops and just we will extrude it a little bit. So just extrude it, give the small offset amount. Okay, 0.1 is fine, and you can see I'm giving the right amount in the numbers which I can remember easily. so I can give the same value everywhere. So that's why I like to put the value in that particular place, like a thickness. Give the value there, so you can remember that value and you can give the same value for other extrude operations also. And just turn on and off that subd modifier so you can see the preview. And now you can see our mesh looks pretty well. Decent kind of hard surface modeling we have done here. If you want more sharper edges, the sharper corners, then you can add the loop cuts there. Like this, you can add the loop cuts. And you can make these edges more sharper. Or if you want the curve, then you can go for it. Don't need to add the more loop cuts. It's totally depend on your design. So just add a loop cuts. And turn on your subd modifier. And you can see our mesh looks pretty well. Decent hard surface modeling we have done here, and this is the production ready mesh with the right topology. And you can see, if you compare both, then you can understand the topological difference there. One is with the right topology with the subd modeling methods, another is a weird topology with the n-gon. This kind of topology, n-gon topology, is fine for the game, but not for the VFX production. And if I add the subd modifier on that n-gon topology, the topology is not so good. It will give the weird result because there is not a supportive geometry to make its shape proper. And this kind of topology is good for game, but this kind of right topology is important in the production workflow.